Hello, 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 and welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining. Let's have a look and see what we've got. So, Forex Factory. Sorry, I'm just trying to sort something out here. That's it. Forex Factory. Les went through this morning. I don't think we've got anything that affects us. No, why is that doing that? I've got an echo. I closed the wrong Facebook. That's what I did. Let me just make sure it's okay. That's it. Okay, that's on. Where was I? Forex Factory. We've got some. Oh, we have got something. Just my clock. Oh, we've just had some. We've just had some. That explains a big wick up on the USD JPY. Which I'll show you. So that's that red flag news. So there's nothing else today, I don't think. Tomorrow, New Zealand dollar in the morning. If you're in Tokyo session, watch out for that. Someone in the chat. This is Julie signing up as Stephen. Oh, that's okay. I know. Yes, I noticed that when we were on before. Thanks for telling me that. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Then I look at FinBiz. You've got currency heat wave is the other one, which Les prefers to use. I just use this. It's only a daily one, but I quite like this one. But the other one might be more sensitive, might be a little bit more up to date. Just sort my phone out in a minute. So we've got Euro is the strongest. It goes from left to right. NZD, JPY, parity in the middle, SHAF, which is the Swiss franc, GBP, USD, Australian dollar, and Canadian dollar weakest. So Euro strongest, Canadian dollar weakest. So one way you could look at this is that you take very strong pairs and trade against the weakest if you could find a setup. So Japanese yen will always be the second pair driving the pair. So in this case, you pair it with either euro, in which case you might want to look at euros just for calls or buys, because that's quite a lot stronger than the Japanese yen. Or you might say US dollar is now quite a bit weaker than the Japanese yen. So I think I'll just be selling or doing puts on the US dollar, okay? And let's come over to HourGlass and see what we've got. I'll just show you that wick I noticed when I was setting up there. And that's at that 2:30 my time, US UTC +2. And as I was setting up, I noticed that wick. I thought, oh, I don't know what that is. So that's obviously that red flag news has caused that to push up to there. That's so when you see something unusual like that, it will usually be some news, is driven by some news. So coming over here, we've got the DXY. I call it the Dixie. I don't know, I've never heard anyone else call it that. I just find it easier to say. We don't trade this. You can see the Bollinger Bands have widened out, caused by that red flag news. We use it to see the 5-minute strength either way, or weakness of the dollar. Because, for example, coming back to USD JPY, the Dixie says call there, going up. That means it's getting stronger. It's just about to flick up, or just flick down as I said that. And there was a call on USD JPY. So those two are in sync with each other. So that's good, because if that DXY had said a put, then it would have meant that it was opposing what our signal says on the pair, which may have caused us to have another, look at whether we wanted to take it as a call or not, because the DXY would have said that the dollar was weakening, and yet we had a call on our signal. So you might be expecting the dollar to turn downwards, and therefore might not be as strong a position that you've got yourself in if you press the button on a call. Now, the other thing to take note of is that our 200 exponential moving average is cutting right through the middle of these Bollinger Bands. So we prefer that to be either at the bottom, acting as a floor, supporting price and pushing it up, or at the top, doing the opposite. And at the moment, it's cutting right through the middle of these moving averages. So it's got to settle back down after this red flag news and decide what it's doing. Looks like it is going down, I think. Let's look on the 15-minute chart to see what the trend has been. So as we had market open, not a lot of volume there. Price moved up until London, then it moved all the way down, come up for that red flag news, and it seems to be going down. Seems to be on its way down again, but we need to look at our currency strength meter. And if you remember, our currency strength meter did indeed tell us that the US dollar currently is weaker than the Japanese yen. That's here. So you can use this chart here. Okay. So if we see that line, we have to say to ourselves, do we really want to look at this for a trade? And let's just have a look over here. It's now come above that strong line of resistance. Hang on a minute, 5 minutes, put it on the 5 minute. So we've got price moving up above this 109,250 line and wicking off it. So it tried to push down, it put a probe down, didn't really like that, and it's now pushing up, and it's formed a new little purple line of resistance at about 109.222 there, off that wick there. So let's see what the time is, coming up to the 15-minute candle, but you could still see that moving average is pushing down. So I'll just look at the payouts, I think, before we do anything else. Make sure that you're on 3-minute non-fixed time. You don't want to be that showing highlighted as fixed time. And we have got USD JPY. Just make a note of these, 73%. The other pair, this Matty Pips' favourite pairs, I do try to follow them. That's UJ. EU at 70%, so these are quite good payouts. We'll have a look at that next, as we've got that line, the EMA moving through the USD JPY. And Euro JPY, 77%. So that's nice. And 63% for HourGlass. I've made a note of that, but we don't like to trade down at anything below 70. So I think we'll just have a look at Euro JPY, see where that looks. That's pushing up at the moment. We know the euro is very strong, so we would want to be taking calls. Oh, massive. 1 o'clock, massive. Something happening there. So it did nothing very much, and it did that huge move down, and now it's reversing back up. We know the euro is a lot stronger, still is. So this is quite volatile. It's quite close up. The Japanese yen is strong as well. What does HourGlass tell us? It was both calls for a put, the current one. Matty likes to have the previous call because it shows you if it's trending, carrying on in the same direction. So the previous one was a put, which probably is because it wants to clear out the money that's in here, these stop losses, these pending orders that are sat in here. So let's look at do a bit more analysis. So we've got 3 minutes 16, 3 minutes 15 left on this 5 minute candle. It called a put. You can see the channels have pushed up there and the blue candle behind. So the euro is very much stronger than the Japanese yen, 76 to 50. So this could be considered a pullback and then it will carry on up. But we have got this big candle here, this very big candle here. Don't know what caused that. It's about 30 pips, so that's about 300 million moved there. So price needs to come back down to balance that at that level of 129.795. And I like to sit and make notes because if I'm flicking between pairs, then I can look back. So I've just written down Euro JPY 1297.795. We only look at the last 3 digits, remember, because we're scalping. And we're only interested in that little bit at the end, just a very quick little bit at the end. But I've just put the 795 down. So it's right off the Bollinger Bands. It's off that line of resistance. It was called at 384. Now remember what Matty tells us. If we're going for a put, we want to take 384 or above. And that line there of resistance is at about 406. These sort of zone areas, aren't they, that we mark up. So we can look back and we can see there it is again. There it is again, that line of resistance. Still pushing up a little bit. So sometimes price can choose the next level up. You can see that red candle there. So that next level up's at about 430. So sometimes we take the rectangle and we draw a little box along so that we know what our zone of entry is. Now, again, we've got this issue, haven't we, of this line, the moving average cutting through the middle. So as we know the euro is stronger, this could be a pullback and then it'll carry on going upwards. But we have got this problem, if you want to call it a problem, with this candle here that now price will want to change its direction. So I might change my mind now and decide, because I'm finding it a bit, if you want to call it, confusing, because it's saying that the euro is forming these channels going up. However, I know it's got to even out that candle by coming back down here. It's more volatile the higher the percentage payout, up at 77%. It does say hidden bear here, which means it wants to carry on its downward, its general downward directional trend. So I'm expecting price, it might want to come up as high as this double line of resistance at 500, or it might stop at this highlighted stronger line of resistance at the 407 and start to come down, which is probably what it's going to do, although on the 1 minute the hidden bear has disappeared. I'm on the 1 minute now. You don't have to look at the 1 minute, it's just habit. And the SARs are also below at the moment as well. So I think I might change to look at Euro USD actually and see what this is the 15 minutes. This is the quarter turn, if you remember Evans. This is for the new people on the session today, and welcome. Thank you for joining us. There it is, quarters enable. And this is our 15 minute, and that's our 45 minute. And if I change this, you can change it round to black there, blue there, and that should give you the half hour and the hour, save as default. Sometimes I find it, so there's our half hour. So price could carry on up, could do a little pullback, carry on up, and then come down, carry on up to the half hour, and then come on down to take out that candle. I don't know what it's going to do, obviously. I can't even see that big candle now. There it is. It's with that wick there. I think it's that one, isn't it? So I'll mark this up. Not that I know what it's going to do. So let's say it does a pullback to there, carries on up here to the half hour, and then decides to turn and come back down to take out that level there. So I'll save that, and I'll just come back and see if it does indeed do that. But it looks a bit volatile for me, so because of that line going through as well. And there's that wick that we've been talking about. It's happened on that, the Euro USD as well at 230. That's the dollar against the euro. So what have we got? Oh, what have we got going on here? Let me just get rid of that. Come back to the 5 minute. So again, because of that red flag news, we've got the hidden bear again saying the directional trend is that it wants to go down, bearish for down, bullish for up. We're on the 15 minute. I'll just hide those. And it's caught between these two levels of resistance. So again, it probably wants to come back down to even this up now after that news. And is UJ behaving the same way? There's that 230 red flag news. Massive candle there as well. A lot of wicks on this. So at the moment, price has dropped, not done very much, and yes, it did. It dropped in London. It's reversing back up. So does it want to carry on up? It has not really taken out the rest of that, although there's a wick there, but it's taken out most of it down to that body there. So, and it's wicking off this a strong line of resistance. So it does look like it's coming up. We do like to put this divergence on, by the way, and it's just hitting that line of resistance there. So not doing very much. Let me look on our, that's saying a call. Dixie is saying it's got stronger, the dollar. We don't trade it, remember, we're just using it to look at the 5 minute strength of the signal. So US dollar, it's saying it's still a lot weaker than the Japanese yen on our currency strength. Still quite a lot weaker. And it's given us a call though at 283. 283, so that's that sort of top. 281, there's that line of support there. So it's come back down to form a new line of support there, up to that line of resistance, and now it's sitting on this line of support, and it's given us a call. It's only halfway down though. It's not in the overbought or the oversold area on the stochastic. It's kind of in the middle, and most importantly, we've got that moving average also cutting through this pair as well, caused by that wick there and that red flag news at let's put me in Turkey. I prefer to be in Paris. Caused by that 230 candle. I'm going to go back and look at Euro JPY. So we've still got the euro much stronger than the Japanese yen, the top one. So that's better for a call than a put, 73 to 47. It was called about a minute ago, so we're at the 20 past time at 396. It's just bouncing off that overbought area on the stochastic and the RSI, with the momentum being up. It did have an S for a sell on the previous one, but there's that moving average cutting through there. So I'm not seeing really any brilliant setups on my favorite pairs at the moment. Let's look at Euro USD. Got the euro stronger than the dollar, 73 to 24. It's saying a put at 338. Which is this red line of resistance here. It is above that at the moment. We have got this stochastic and the RSI pointing down. We've got this problem on the moving averages in the middle with the 200 EMA moving through the middle. These are rolling lines of support and resistance. So given that the euro is still stronger, we could have it come up to there and then carry on up. But because of that news that we saw, let's come back to it on here. Because of that news that we saw, we've got this candle there at 230. No volume there in that wick, but price, you know, might want to make that reaction back. And because that news was coming up, there was a lot less traded volume on this pair. You'd normally expect to see much more of a movement. You'd expect to see that, all that straight line in Tokyo rather than London. And it was in anticipation of that, I suppose. And also I've got that hidden bear coming up there, which says to me it wants to come back down. But it's a bit like a chess game, this, at the moment, because we've also got this strong double line of resistance at 254 Euro USD, 250 to 254, sorry, 237, beg your pardon, I don't know why I said that, 240 to 250, 250 being your quarter theory line. So I don't know what it wants to do there. It is in fact moving down. Euro USD did make a move down. Euro JPY, I mean, Euro JPY. Euro USD. That has moved off that. That's 385. Here it is at 32333. And it made that move, that's that 20 past candle. So it's coming down. So we could wait to the half hour and see if we can take a call on this. Look on HourGlass, where is it? It's at 325 on HourGlass, called at 338. So it is making that move down. So if it comes down to 230, don't know if it'll go down that far. I think, you know, it's because it's out of balance after that news. So you can see all those channel lines are virtually straight, consolidation. Let's see what we can get it down to. So if it comes down to that 250, but I'm just wondering now if it's on the turn, because it's got to come back down here, and I've got hidden bear there. So again, I've got mixed messages here. I think it wants to come all the way down. We know the euro is still stronger, so we want to see that weakening, and we want to see the DXY strengthening. And I'm going to look at which is the one I marked up, Euro JPY. Yeah. So I marked this up because this is, again, similar situation caused by that news. The euro a lot stronger, that's still, than the Japanese yen. I thought that it may want to come up for the half hour and then go down. It seems to have hit off that line at 4:30 rather than coming up to the 500, which is the double line, unless it's going to do one more move back up before it comes back down to this area here at 129,800. So Euro JPY 129,500 marks the balancing out of that candle. We've got hidden there saying it does want to go down. Just take that one off now. So it did do that pullback. It's carried on up here. It hasn't hit up as high as that, which would match up with this line here. So I'm quite surprised about that. But it obviously wants to come all the way down here and then may carry on up, because at the moment it's reacting off this line here. And normally price will want to move between major levels. If it doesn't hit that level now, it will want to fall back to the previous major level, etc., etc. So let's stay on this one for a minute. I'll take that markup off. You get the general idea. Come over to HourGlass. Look at Euro JPY. 3 minutes ago for a call, Euro at 67, Japanese yen at 44. It's right in the oversold area on the stochastic. These are momentum indicators, so we're looking for the tick up, the crossover, as Matty calls it. You want it crossing up over your oversold line, the green dotted line. Shows you the momentum is there in the move, like it did back here on the left. Once it crosses that line, the momentum is in the move. And the RSI, relative strength index, is still pointing down. Again, we want that to be flicking up. Have got that moving average still going through the middle. So coming up to the half past. So let's look back here. So the thing that concerns me is that big candle there and this hidden bear. So normally I could say to you without that red flag news, we'd look at this, just don't get into a trade. We're at 28 minutes past. Do not ever get into a trade now before that half hour turn. Evan Cabral's market timing. So we would wait till 30 minutes past or 31, get ourselves set up for a call. However, it's not as simple as that today because of this big candle here and our beloved divergence indicator telling us that the general directional trend is down. That's what that means, down, wants to go down. So it's not as simple as it looks, and that moving average right on the quarter theory there. So I'll see if I've got it on my other chart. Just coming up to half past. There aren't any very big scans. Not our usual 80 pips that I draw. That was a little one, which is why I've marked it in pink. So it has virtually respected this scan. It isn't really a failed scan, this one. So what is price doing at the moment on the 5 minute? So if I put auto support on, it would be that line there, just below the quarter theory there. And on the 1 minute, it is in fact just about to move. It is dropping below, so that looks like it is going to come back into the scan. That's that news candle there. And come down. Oh, there was another. I don't know what caused that because that isn't red flag news back there. So it's got a big thing to pick up there. So I think the trend now is down on this. It's at 322. This line of resistance here, 340, and that little pink one there, about 300. And then once it gets below that moving average, then we know it is on its way down. So I'm not finding these setups very confidence giving, I have to say. So that still says put. Sorry, it now says put. It now says put. So it's going against the currency strength meter. It's a put at 370. It's at 363. So we've got it off 370. So it's in that sort of zone here. $393, $366. So it's not off a strong line of resistance. These have moved down quite sharply. It is moving down. And this is our half hour. That's the 5 minute. So I don't know if anyone took anything there. I didn't, but there's that little indecision candle. The SARs have flipped, the Bollinger Bands are turning around, and it is on its way down. So that you can take trades where it's against the currency strength meter, but as I say, a little bit more complex this afternoon because of these big candles on the red flag news, and there's that one earlier in the day. There's one there. So a couple of big hourly, because that's not an hourly. That's an hourly open candle. And the volatility at 77% on that one. So I'm going to come back. So that would have worked out for you. I'm going to come back and look at Euro USD for a put. We've still got Euro as the strongest against the dollar. It's the strongest currency of all still. So we've got, it's just coming round now to the next 5 minute turn. So what I'd like to see is a call back up, and then it comes back down the way we want. So we've got the same thing happening on Euro USD as Euro JPY. This has come off that 385 zone to 340, 385 to 340. It's wicking off that area. Just turn around now. 334. 59,342. It's just pushing up again. And what's the dollar doing? That's getting stronger, which is good if we're going to sell the euro. That's saying it's going to go up. Just hasn't turned yet. So that's good if we think that the euro is now going to drop down. So I could take a put on Euro USD Just want to see those cross back down. That is in the overbought area. It's at 375. We've still got the blue bars pushing up. So we're at 36 minutes past. So I think, and if I do, it'll be a very low order size, very, very low, because I'm not over enamored of these setups today. And that is at 387 on the 5 minute. Because it is still so much stronger. It's the strongest currency. So I'm still thinking it wants to come up here for the hour and then drop. Look at the 15 minute. And the 30 minutes and the hourly. So at the crossover of London to New York, the story this is telling you on the hourly candle is that it opened there, it tried to push down, it couldn't manage it, there's no orders in there. It's pushed up here, it couldn't make it any further and it fell back to the quarter theory level, strong line here of resistance. However, the next hour open in New York proper with a fairly solid, I mean, there's a tiny, tiny wick there, fairly solid flat bottom is right on quarter theory with a very strong push up. So that is in a strong upward momentum still on the hourly. So looking at that, that leads me to believe it will want to make that major level before it turns around. But I don't know what when it was further last at that area. And there it is. It's last at this area, 22nd of March. Oh, ignore all that. Sorry, it's probably a bit too much. And it was at this last at this area, this quarter theory area, 18th of March there, but it did actually peak right up here. So that price is at one. Let's look at what the price would be. $1.19500. So that's $1.195 to the euro. And there was that whole number that we discussed the other day, 1.19. So the euro is very strong. Very strong still. It says a put, but nothing's moved down. The dollar is strong, which says the euro wants to go down, but it's not managing it yet, and the dollar hasn't. Oh, it's just turning now. That's just flattening off. And come over to here, and we're up at, so I'm going to 39 Euro USD hourglass. Oh, look, you see it's still blue behind it. It's very tempting to press the button on a put, but I just don't think it's going to do that. The dollar is strong, but the euro is still the strongest, and the euro and the USD is one of the weakest. So everything's on the turn. I mean, as you know, in New York session, things move between UK time, 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. We're just coming up to that 3 p.m. So I think things are going to happen then. So it's an unusual trading day because of that red flag news. So you can see how those Bollinger Bands on the 5 minutes are still pointing up strongly. And I think price wants to make this level at 1.19500 before turning to pick up this area here. That's what it wants to do. Just flicking down now. If anyone did get into this, I haven't got into anything. So a little pullback, but you can see the channel is still up. It's still forming higher lows before this hour. And then we've got 45-minute coming up shortly. So we'll leave Euro USD to do its own thing at the moment. Let me have a look at Euro JPY, see where we are on that. This is looking promising. That's a call at 321. 2 minutes left of that. Previous one was a call. Euro's strong, 64 against the Japanese yen at 46. It's called at 321. It's now at 324. We've got the cross up, the cross up. We've got the, it's above, prices above our 200 moving average. We've got the lines of support there. We've got the green calls. So we've got 1, 2, 3. We have got a full 5-point trade at 321. Euro JPY at 77% at 321, and I've missed it. 321 down here at 41. So that's not going to come back now. The bus has left the station. So there was a call there that I would have happily taken on Euro JPY for the call. Didn't like it for the put, but for the call, that was a nice one. If it does come back to that 321, I don't think it will now. It's gone too far, probably to the next level. Let me check the next level. Not that. Let me check the next level. Euro JPY on the 5 minute. That's 313. It's come off up there. Its next level up 345. 345, and it's at 337. That's your 345 area. Just coming back down. And its next level up 430. So again, oh, that's the 45 minute, coming up to the 45. So again, up to the hour, maybe meeting up with this line here and then turning back down to pick this money up down here. Because you have got that hidden bear, that's still relevant and it's still valid. But we have to look at our market timing. Where's Evan's thing? Evan Cabral's market timing. And always defaults the other way around, which is very annoying. That is going to be your hourly. Okay, that's a put on Euro JPY. Euro USD is a put as well. I think you're better off waiting until either taking the calls or waiting until the hour. And then the other one I was looking at was What's UJ doing now? UJ, so the dollar is weakening. It says here the dollar is weakening. It's heavily in the oversold area. That was about a minute ago. Dollar is weakening, so that means we shouldn't be selling the euro at the moment. USD dollar 17, Japanese yen 47. So puts on the US dollar. We've now got the moving average above, which is good. We've got the channels coming down, forming lower highs. And we've got it in this oversold area. So we are in a strong downward trend again. Let me come back to it on here. I'll take those off, a bit too much to look at. So what I'd like to see here is come back to the currency strength meter. There's the dollar, very weak end of the spectrum, Japanese yen towards the top. So what I'd like to see is it comes back up to our 250 area. This is UJ, which was paying out at 73%. Comes back up to our 250 area and we take it for a put, a sell at this area here. Now in London, it did go all the way down. It's come up in New York, but it's got a strong downward momentum again, because normally I would expect it to go up in New York, but it doesn't look like it wants to go up anymore. It's come all the way below this quarter theory here, which previously was the line of support there. Someone's talking to me there, I'll have a look at that. And all that line of support there. Let's see what someone's saying. Someone knows something I don't. Oh, I have to go. Yeah, sorry, Jonathan. It's a bit of a strange session because of that red flag news.
Thanks, Sarah. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. I just wasn't seeing anything. It was a bit slower today.
That's okay. I've got to go and pick up my boy. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. So I'll just stay on till just after the hour, probably, to see if we can take a trade down. But I want to see it come back up to this 250 area, which is our strong, the quarter theory, our strong line of support and resistance off that middle moving average. I don't really want to be taking puts down here. If we can get it to go back up here for the hour. So we've got a break and a retest and then carry on down is what I'm thinking. There is doing that pullback. At least that's a strong pullback. Oh, and Euro JPY is carrying on up. That's just rejected off there. So let's see if it does do what I think it's going to do. That's the hour. Up there and then turn. I mean, I don't know. But it did. Maybe it is going to just carry on up. And we've got our USD JPY coming back up to that strong level there. It's given us another put higher up at 215 off that line there. that line of support. It's now saying is resistance, but it's not in the overbought area. Still got the B for buy there. I've got a red candle. So I prefer to see it higher up, but it's starting to shape up. So when you do get red flag news, that was at 2:30 my time, it does take about an hour for the market to settle down afterwards. So that's what's happened. We've just hit a patch where we're in that hour. So Euro USD is Euro still a lot stronger. Got the S for a sell, 3 minutes left on this candle. We've had a put at 391, price is at 392, it's off that level. Haven't got the currency strength meter. We've got one cross down, we've got the sell, so that's 2 points. We've got the red arrow and the put for 3, line of resistance 4. It's not quite off the Bollinger Band. That's now flicking up. So that was nearly setting up, and you have got that moving average cutting down there as well. So let's see what it looks like on here. I'm sure it's because it needs to get to the hour on these things. And there it is, as we thought, pushing up still, even though it says the direction wants to be down. So it just wants to reach this level around in this zone and then come down, I think. I have been wrong before that, as we know. Don't need that one. So I'm just looking at these 3 pairs at the moment: Euro USD, Euro JPY, and USD JPY. Let's check in on Euro JPY. Looks like it didn't want to make it up to there, although we've got 7 minutes left. So it did a little pullback up, and that's pulling back again, but still a very strong upward trend. So again, it's just around this sort of zone area. So you'll get some trades in line with the currency strength meter after the hour, and 2:30 to 3:30, it's been settling down after the red flag news. That's what's been happening on these pairs. And I'll just check back in on USD JPY, and I'm going to look at one other. So here we are, making its way up to the 250. So I'm still quite keen on this for a put. 73 was the payout. But after the hour, it has given us a put at 215, but you can see we want it really to be up at this sort of level rather than here. Personally speaking, someone else has had to go, that's absolutely fine. It's been a bit of a slow session. And you can see that these are pointing down. Personally, I want to wait to the hour now. I haven't looked at HourGlass. That was the other one I was going to look at, although that was down at 63%. See how that reacted to the news. Australian dollar still a lot stronger than the US dollar. We've got, again, the moving average cutting through because of that red flag news. We have got a put. We've got it off that line of resistance at 289,294. So it's off the Bollinger Bands. 1, 2 for line resistance, 3 for the put, 4, 5. Haven't got the currency strength meter. Haven't got an S for a sell, but that is quite a nice trade. HourGlass, it's not paying out that brilliantly though, so that might put you off taking it. I'm not a professional trader. I'm just talking about what I do say and do when I'm looking at the charts. So do what you want to do. I've only got it on $1 at the moment, which was from this morning's London thing. So we are at 280, and on HourGlass called at 289. So we have got a trade there. It's a lower payout, that's all, and you haven't got the currency strength meter there. So, and if I get into the trade now, I'm just going to do, I just missed that. I was just going to take a very low for order, just a dollar trade to show you. It's gone already. It's gone now. Gone south where it was going to go. It's 265. So that was a good trade, that one, but it wasn't a very high payout. Oh, let's just come back up to 284 at 56, 57. So I'm not going to get in that now because we're only 3 minutes off the hour. It did pop back up there. It didn't come up as high as that. But that did do what we thought it would do, and that was quite a nice little trade. But I was just in a bit late on that one, so I'm going to come back to our favourites that we're looking at. So I've got a wick off on, it's wicking off that quarter theory, which is nice. That's what we want because we're looking at USD JPY for a put. US dollar still a lot weaker than the Japanese yen. The DXY is saying a call at the moment. We want that to be saying a put. We want it to be getting weaker. It's saying, you can see in the currency strength 16 on the US dollar to the Japanese yen at 44. It's saying a call at the moment. It's at 207 there. We just want it to push up on the hour to that line up here at about 257 and take that. You can see the channels are moving lower. So we want it higher up off these middle rolling lines of support and resistance, these moving averages in the middle, and this zone here at that line of support there, which becomes resistance. So at about that 250 mark. Okay, so I'm going to look at that, and you can see the arrow candle pushing up for us there. That's what we want, and the divergence is saying bear. Hidden bear, there was a bull which was so it still is a directional trend of down. We are coming up to the hour. I'm going to get myself set up. 226, I don't want 226, I want it to pull back up to this 250 area. We're coming up to the hour, I want to pull back, might not get it, might have moved already. And then I would have taken that for a put, but it does look like it's moved it's fast on the way down, but if it comes back up, I'll take that for a put. You see how you just want it pushing up there and then turning back down. We just want it that little bit higher up if we could get it. It's gone, I think. It's gone. I don't think it's going to come back up. That's the hour. It does come back up. I'll take it for a put. But I want it up in this region up here. 229. Oh, it gave us a put at 209. It's given us a put at 209. It's at 212. That's at 209 now. Would have been nice to have been in higher up. So I don't know if anyone's taken that. I've been a bit hesitant. There's a little Batman head there. Gone. Yeah, so that was an okay trade, that one. There was our 209 area. So that has moved nicely after the hour. Sorry, missed that as well. I'm going to look at Euro JPY. So here we are on the hour. It didn't quite make it up again. That's still pushing up. Euro is still a lot stronger than the Japanese yen. 343 for a call. It's above the moving average. Still got the channels moving up. So not a perfect setup with that line through the middle. It's not right at the bottom. What line of resistance is it off? 309, but it called it at 343. So it's picking up that line there. Euro USD for a call. That is in line with our currency strength meter. We've got that at 349. It's now up at 364. So I haven't really come up with anything today. I'm sorry about that. Oh, that's come right back up. Hello. Euro USD JPY's come right back up. It's come back up. Still got a bear on the divergence. Interesting. USD JPY for a put, it's still weaker. A put at 209. A put at 209 on USD JPY, it's up at 247. We've got Dixie is a call though at the moment, which is in line with those lines we're pushing up. So currency strength meter is at 17 to 40, so that's good, 209. So let's see what happens next for a put. We've got the moving at 200 MA above us. We've got it off these middle moving averages. So we've got, if we get another red put with an arrow, get the bars turning to red, that line of resistance at around 260. We're in a zone of 260 to 220. Get those bars flicking back down. We could have 1, 2, 3. We haven't got a sell there. We could have a 4 to 5 point trade. 18 seconds to go. Just wicking off that 250. 226, you see it just came back up to that 250. We are coming up to the 5 past the new candle. I want to see what it says next. The DXY says, still saying a call, so that's not so good. 217, so put at 217, I'm at 218, 215, so that's going as well, and I haven't got in that either. Don't know if any of you got in that. It just wasn't quite high up enough for me. So it did give us another go at it. It did say sell me, and we didn't sell it on the hour. And then it said sell me again. So it did give us 2 chances there. It did give us 2 chances. Down at 203. So I'm going to call it a day. Euro is still pushing up after the hour. Yeah, sorry, it's a slow session. It's that red flag news. That is still pushing up on the euro, even after the hour. Much stronger than the dollar. It isn't in the overbought area. We have still got the channels moving up, but the range is now very narrow, so it will be turning, but it probably turn later. You can see the Bollinger Bands have now sharply turned round, so I think it has peaked, and we have got directional trenders down. So there is a trade here off this level at around 430 to 350, or there's one there, 383, that zone there. Two minutes ago, 379. So nothing doing for me this afternoon. I missed a couple of ones. I wasn't quite quick enough. But also it's because of that news at 2:30, which I think is the first time it's happened on one of our sessions that we've caught that US dollar news right in the middle of what we're trying to do. So I'm going to leave it there today. Sorry about that. I hope some of that was helpful. Okay, Les. Yeah, thanks. I'm going to finish now anyway, and thank you very much for joining. Sorry it was a slow session. It's just the way it is sometimes. Let me stop recording. Yeah, sorry, Benny. I don't know if you took anything, but I just missed a couple of things, and I didn't like the news and all the